The galaxy had always known about humans, but only in whispers. Across distant star systems, alien civilizations spoke of Earth's people with fear and disbelief. Tales circulated of humans surviving battles that would have destroyed entire fleets of other species. Ships vanished near the Sol system. Explorers returned with strange injuries and stories of humans who fought like storms. No one could predict what humans would do next, and that unpredictability terrified the galaxy. In the grand halls of the Galactic Council, representatives from countless worlds debated humanity's potential. The room was filled with towering creatures with scales, wings, and tentacles, all focused on a glowing hologram of Earth. "We have underestimated them for centuries," the Zilari ambassador said, her voice cold but trembling with unease. "Every time we send a fleet, we lose. Every time we try diplomacy, we fail. Humans are dangerous." The Trelk, a race of massive insectoid beings, clicked in agreement. "They survive on worlds even harsher than their own," they said. "Radiation, storms, famine, they adapt and overcome. Their cunning is unmatched. Every encounter strengthens them." The council members exchanged uneasy glances. For once, even the proudest alien species admitted fear. Meanwhile, on Earth, life moved with ordinary calm. Cities bustled, children laughed in playgrounds, and markets thrived. No one on the streets knew that eyes across the galaxy were watching them, whispering warnings about the humans who were about to rise. But underneath the everyday life, humans were preparing. Hidden in training centers across continents, elite warriors trained from dawn to dusk. They ran through deserts, climbed mountains, swam across icy rivers, and learned the secrets of the skies. Every trial was designed to create humans who could survive anywhere, fight anyone, and never surrender. Captain Mara walked through the training grounds, observing her warriors. Their faces were focused, muscles taut, eyes burning with determination. "They think we are weak," she murmured. "They think we will bow before their fleets. They are wrong." Her voice carried quietly over the wind, but it seemed to ignite a fire in those who heard it. Each soldier nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility, yet proud to carry it. They were not just warriors. They were the shield and spear of their planet. Even as humans trained, alien fleets moved closer to the Sol system. Spy satellites detected massive cruisers, bristling with weapons, creeping into the outer solar system. The Zitari Empire, one of the galaxy's largest powers, believed they could crush Earth with a single strike. But they had never faced humans before, not really. They had never seen the depth of human courage, the unpredictability of human tactics, or the fierce unity that ran through every soldier's heart. Back on Earth, families sat around dinner tables unaware of the approaching war. Children laughed, parents shared stories, and life seemed ordinary. But within hidden bunkers and orbital stations, Captain Mara and her supreme warriors prepared for what was coming. They studied star maps, practiced maneuvers, and built strategies that no alien could predict. Every movement was calculated, yet every warrior carried the raw human instinct to survive and protect. The galaxy could already feel the fear. Reports of human victories had reached dozens of star systems. Entire fleets had been decimated by humans before they even reached Earth. But none of that prepared the galaxy for what was truly coming. The supreme warriors of Earth were ready. They would not just defend their planet, they would redefine what it meant to be human. And the moment the first shots were fired, the galaxy would remember that humans were not just fighters, they were legends in the making. The stars above Earth sparkled peacefully, hiding the storm that approached. Below, humans trained, laughed, and loved, unaware of the fear they inspired. Yet somewhere deep inside, every warrior knew that very soon, the galaxy would see them. And it would never be the same again. Earth's defenders were unlike anything the galaxy had ever imagined. These were not ordinary soldiers. They were the supreme warriors, trained from childhood to endure every hardship, to think faster than any enemy, and to fight with unmatched precision. Across deserts, forests, mountains, and frozen tundras, humans had learned to survive where no other life could. Every scar, every lesson, every trial forged them into warriors capable of turning the impossible into victory. Captain Mara walked along the edge of the orbital station, watching her team prepare. Ships gleamed in the sunlight, weapon systems humming softly, and soldiers moved with the quiet efficiency of those who knew their duty was larger than themselves. Mara's mind raced, but her voice remained steady when she addressed her warriors. "They think we are weak. They think we will surrender when the fleets arrive." "They are wrong," she said, Her words carried weight, not just command but belief. Her warriors were a mix of humans from every corner of the planet. Some were born in deserts, their skin weathered by endless sun. Others had survived icy mountains, learning to move silently across snow and ice. Some had trained in dense forests, learning to move unseen and strike unexpectedly. Each brought unique skills, but together they formed an unstoppable force. Mara looked at their determined faces and felt a swell of pride. "This is not just a fight for Earth," she whispered. "It is a fight for everything we are." Outside, the orbital sensors detected the first movement of the Za'Tari Empire's fleet. Massive cruisers cut through space, their energy weapons glowing red like predatory eyes in the darkness. The aliens expected an easy victory. They expected fear. But what they would find instead was a human response that was calculated, fearless, and deadly. Mara and her warriors moved swiftly. Teams coordinated their strategies, practicing maneuvers that seemed impossible. Ships would split, vanish behind asteroid fields, then reappear to strike with pinpoint precision. On the surface, ground units set traps, prepared ambushes, and secured the areas near key installations. Every human soldier understood that they were not just fighting with weapons, they were fighting with courage, intelligence, and unity. Among the warriors was Lieutenant Kai, a young soldier with eyes that burned with determination. He had trained for this moment his entire life. "Captain," he said quietly, "I've never been afraid, but now I feel the weight of everything we protect." Mara placed a hand on his shoulder. "Fear is normal," she said. "Courage is what we do with it. We fight for those who cannot. That is our power." In the cities below, people carried on, unaware of the battle approaching. Children played in the streets, their laughter echoing like a promise of hope. Families dined together, sharing warmth and love. The supreme warriors drew strength from this simple life, this ordinary beauty that made their fight worth every risk. Mara's team made final checks of their weapons and ships. Every laser, missile, and shield was ready. Every human soldier had internalized the knowledge that failure was not an option. Yet beyond strategy and training, they relied on something no alien could understand: human spirit. It was hope, fear, love, anger, and courage combined. It was instinct sharpened into determination. It was what made humans unpredictable, unstoppable, and unforgettable. The first contact would happen soon. Mara took a deep breath and looked out at the stars. She thought of Earth, of the people she loved, and of the warriors who would stand beside her. "We are ready," she whispered to herself. "Let them come. Let them see what humans are capable of. Let the galaxy know that Earth is not weak. Let the galaxy see our warriors." And with that, the supreme warriors of Earth waited. The silence before battle was thick with anticipation, every heartbeat echoing a promise. Humanity would not bow. Humanity would not flee. And humanity would fight with every ounce of strength, courage, and heart they had. The galaxy had already feared humans. Now it was about to witness the full power of Earth's supreme warriors. The calm of space shattered in an instant. The Za'Tari Empire's massive fleet emerged from the darkness, their weapons blazing red across the void. The galaxy had watched humanity with fear, but now they would see humans in action for the first time. The supreme warriors braced themselves, hearts pounding, muscles tense, eyes focused. There was no hesitation, only the quiet, burning determination that had been forged over years of training and preparation. Captain Mara's ship led the formation. She looked over her team, each warrior poised for the coming chaos. "Remember," she said, voice firm yet calm, "we fight not just for survival but for everyone on this planet. Stay sharp, move fast, protect each other, and never forget who we are." Her words were more than orders. They were a spark that ignited courage in every human soldier. The first shots were fired. Za'Tari energy beams tore through the blackness, targeting human ships with deadly precision. But humans moved differently. Ships twisted and dodged as if anticipating every attack. Lasers that should have hit struck nothing, as the humans executed maneuvers that no alien could predict. Every strike from the Za'Tari fleet was met with a counterattack, subtle and precise, taking down ships with efficiency that stunned even the most seasoned alien admirals. On the ground, human squads engaged alien forces with tactics no one could anticipate. The supreme warriors struck from shadows, vanished into smoke, and reappeared where the enemy least expected. Mara's team infiltrated a critical Za'Tari command station. Explosions lit up the night sky, shaking the G ground as soldiers advanced with unshakable resolve. For every human lost, 3 aliens fell. Yet every loss weighed heavily on Mara's heart. She saw friends, soldiers she had trained and fought alongside, fall or get injured. The cost of war was already clear, and it gnawed at her soul. Amid the chaos, Lieutenant Kai moved through the battlefield like a force of nature. His instincts, honed through years of training, guided him through fire and debris. He saved a wounded soldier, dragged them to safety, and returned to the fight without hesitation. His actions embodied what made humans unique: courage, quick thinking, and an unyielding desire to protect others even when danger surrounded them. Despite their tactical brilliance, the humans were outnumbered. The Za'Tari expected victory, and their fleets pressed harder. But Mara had planned for this. Using human ingenuity and adaptability, she turned the battlefield into a labyrinth. Ships disappeared behind asteroids, reappeared in enemy blind spots, and struck with deadly accuracy. On the surface, ambushes and traps reduced the alien forces steadily. Humans were more than fighters; they were ghosts, storms, and shadows all at once. The galaxy watched silently. Messages from distant worlds buzzed with reports of human effectiveness. "They are faster than predicted, stronger, smarter," one alien ambassador reported. "No one can withstand them." Even allies of the Za'Tari trembled at the tales of human courage and skill. As night fell over the battlefields of Earth, Mara paused for a brief moment. She looked at her warriors, battered but alive. "We have shown them our strength," she whispered. "But this is just the beginning. The galaxy will not stop. They will come again. And we must be ready." Her voice was quiet, yet filled with resolve, carrying the weight of responsibility that only a true leader could bear. The first clash had ended. Humans had won, but the victory was not without pain. The battlefield was littered with the marks of battle, the cost of defiance clear for all to see. Yet even in the midst of fire and destruction, the human spirit shone brightly. They had faced impossible odds and emerged stronger. In that moment, the galaxy began to realize that humans were more than just survivors. They were warriors unlike any other. And the supreme warriors of Earth had only begun to reveal the power and heart that made humanity unstoppable. The galaxy expected humans to fall after their first clash. The Za'Tari Empire had suffered losses, but they were far from defeated. Entire fleets from neighboring systems mobilized, ready to crush Earth once and for all. Across the stars, alien civilizations watched with curiosity and fear. Could humans survive another assault? Could they defy the galaxy again? On Earth's orbital station, Captain Mara studied the incoming fleets with careful eyes. Every sensor beeped warnings of enemy movements. Her warriors moved efficiently, checking weapons, preparing ships, and running simulations. Despite the pressure, there was no panic, only a calm determination that had been drilled into them over years of preparation. "They think they can overwhelm us," Mara said quietly, her voice carrying across the control room. "But they do not know us. They do not know what humans can do." Mara's plan was risky, but she had confidence in her team. She split the fleet into small, agile units, sending some to lure the enemy into asteroid fields and gravitational anomalies. Others waited in ambush, ready to strike the fleet's flanks. On the ground, human squads secured vital positions and set traps that turned the terrain into a deadly maze. Every move was calculated, but the humans retained flexibility. They adapted instantly to the changing battlefield, their instincts complementing their strategy. Lieutenant Kai led a squad through a dense asteroid belt. The alien ships pursued, confident that they could crush the humans. But the humans vanished and reappeared in unexpected positions, firing precise volleys that disabled enemy engines. Explosions rocked the void, sending debris flying as the Za'Tari fleets realized too late that they had walked into a trap. "Keep moving," Kai shouted to his squad. "Strike hard, strike fast, and don't let them predict a thing." Meanwhile, Mara's team engaged directly with the largest enemy cruisers. The Supreme Warriors moved like shadows, boarding alien ships silently, neutralizing defenses and taking control. Each human acted with purpose yet with restraint. They fought to defend, not to destroy. Even as chaos erupted around them, Mara maintained focus, coordinating the battle like a conductor leading a symphony of destruction and precision. The galaxy watched, stunned. Reports spread quickly. Humans did not just fight. They dominated with intelligence, agility, and courage. Fleets that should have been unstoppable were being dismantled piece by piece. The aliens had underestimated the depth of human skill, and now they paid the price. Despite the victories, Mara felt the weight of command. She saw friends injured, ships destroyed, and cities threatened. Each victory came at a cost, and every decision weighed heavily on her conscience. Yet she also felt pride. Humans fought not only with strength but with heart. They saved captured aliens, offered mercy where they could, and protected civilians even in the middle of the chaos. As the battle reached its peak, Mara initiated the final stage of her plan. Using decoys and holograms, she tricked the main fleet into a narrow corridor filled with human ambushes. Ships exploded in a cascade of fire and metal. The galaxy held its breath as humans proved that their combination of strategy, courage, and adaptability was unmatched. By the time the dust settled, the enemy was forced to retreat. Human forces stood victorious, but the scars of battle remained. Mara gazed at the stars, her heart heavy yet determined. "We have shown them," she whispered to her team. "We have shown the galaxy what it means to face humans. They thought they could overwhelm us. They were wrong." In that moment, the turning point was clear. The galaxy realized humans were not just survivors. They were clever, relentless, and fearless. They could turn the tide of war against impossible odds. And from that day forward, every civilization that looked toward Earth knew one undeniable truth. Humans were supreme warriors, and the galaxy had only begun to witness their power. The news spread faster than light across the stars. Systems that had once dismissed humanity now whispered their names with fear and awe. "Humans fight like storms," one alien ambassador reported to the Galactic Council. "They are unpredictable, relentless, and fearless. No fleet in the galaxy can withstand them." The tales of the supreme warriors of Earth traveled from planet to planet, growing with each retelling, painting humans as legends rather than mere soldiers. On Earth, the supreme warriors took a moment to breathe. Their ships hovered in orbit, while squads on the ground tended to the wounded and repaired damaged defenses. The battlefield was scarred with the remnants of combat, but the human spirit shone brighter than any destruction. Captain Mara moved among her team, checking on soldiers, offering words of comfort, and quietly acknowledging their bravery. "You have done more than survive," she told them. "You have shown the galaxy what it means to be human." The galaxy had watched countless civilizations rise and fall, but humans were different. Other species relied on brute strength, overwhelming numbers, or advanced technology. Humans combined all these things with something no alien could imitate: heart. They fought not just for victory, but for home, for family, for hope. That combination made them unpredictable, unstoppable, and above all, unforgettable. Lieutenant Kai walked through the orbital station, still catching his breath. He had seen comrades fall, enemy ships explode, and civilians saved in the midst of chaos. The sheer weight of their actions began to sink in. "We've done something incredible," he whispered to a fellow soldier. "The galaxy will never see anything like this again." The other soldier nodded, his eyes wide with the same realization. Humans had not just survived, they had triumphed, and they had done it with honor. Alien spies and scouts observed Earth with renewed caution. They had underestimated humans before, but now they realized every fleet, every ship, every soldier that came near this planet faced the possibility of complete defeat. Children on alien worlds whispered of the humans who survived radiation storms, who could fight in oceans of acid, who could outthink and outmaneuver the mightiest fleets. Scholars studied human tactics, generals feared them, and politicians reconsidered alliances. The galaxy had changed overnight. Despite the growing legend, humans themselves remained grounded. They rebuilt, trained, and prepared for what was coming next. Captain Mara understood that the story did not end with one victory. "They will come again," she said quietly, speaking to her warriors as they watched the stars. "And when they do, we must be ready. But we fight not because they fear us, we fight because we protect what matters most." Her words resonated with everyone present. Humans did not fight for glory. They fought for life, for love, and for the survival of their species. In the cities below, life resumed its rhythm. Children played, families laughed, and ordinary humans went about their day unaware of the battles being fought above. Yet the supreme warriors drew strength from this life, the very life they protected with every heartbeat. The laughter of children, the warmth of family, and the simple beauty of Earth reminded them why their fight mattered. Across the galaxy, fleets and governments took notice. Humans were no longer a distant threat. They were a force, a standard by which all others were measured. And yet, even with growing fame and fear, the supreme warriors of Earth did not relent. They trained harder, fought smarter, and remained united. They understood that the galaxy's eyes were upon them. But they also understood that true power came not from being feared, but from being unbreakable. And so, as the stars twinkled above, the supreme warriors prepared for the battles yet to come. The galaxy had begun to watch in awe, but it had only seen the beginning of what humans could do. Legends were forming, and humanity was writing its story in fire, courage, and heart. The supreme warriors of Earth were no longer just defenders. They were the standard, the warning, and the hope that the galaxy would never forget. The Zitari Empire had gathered everything they had left. Entire fleets of warships bristling with weapons moved like a black wave toward Earth. Across the galaxy, civilizations held their breath, watching to see if humanity could survive this ultimate test. For the first time, the supreme warriors faced not just a single enemy fleet, but the combined might of an empire determined to crush them. Captain Mara stood on the bridge of her flagship, looking out at the approaching enemy. Her warriors, trained, disciplined, and fearless, prepared for the fight of their lives. "This is it," Mara said quietly. "Not just for us, but for every human, every city, every child. We fight to protect life itself. Remember who we are. Remember why we fight." Her words were a steady flame in the hearts of every soldier, burning away fear and leaving only courage. The battle began with a deafening roar. Alien weapons streaked across space, lasers and missiles carving paths of destruction. Human ships twisted and weaved, countering attacks with precision. Ground units moved swiftly, ambushing enemy forces, rescuing civilians, and striking at critical positions. Every move was calculated, yet instinct guided them in ways the aliens could never predict. Lieutenant Kai led a squad through a burning city. Buildings collapsed around them, but the humans moved as one, protecting each other, saving trapped civilians and neutralizing alien soldiers with efficiency and heart. Kai felt the weight of the battle pressing on him, but he drew strength from those around him. Every human on Earth was a link in a chain that could not be broken. Mara coordinated the orbital fleets with skill that astonished even her own officers. Decoy ships drew enemy fire while the main forces struck critical enemy vessels. The supreme warriors moved like shadows across the battlefield, appearing where the aliens least expected. Each strike, each maneuver was a testament to human ingenuity and courage. Despite the overwhelming odds, humans did not falter. Mara's mind was sharp, guiding her warriors through chaos with calm determination. "Protect each other," she shouted into comms. "Strike fast. Think faster. We will not fall today." Her voice was both command and inspiration, echoing through ships and battle stations. As the battle raged, Mara confronted the Zitari Supreme Commander. The alien was massive, armed with weapons no human could have imagined, and yet Mara faced him without fear. Every decision, every strike, every move was calculated. The battle between them was intense, with explosions and energy beams lighting the dark void, but Mara's determination, experience, and the trust of her warriors turned the tide. With one final maneuver, she struck the commander down, breaking the heart of the Zitari assault. The enemy fleets faltered, their confidence shattered. Human ships surged forward, relentless and unstoppable. The galaxy watched in stunned silence as the combined might of the Zitari Empire crumbled before the courage, strategy, and unity of humanity. The supreme warriors did not just fight, they triumphed with heart and honor. When the dust settled, Earth remained standing. Cities were scarred, warriors were wounded, but the human spirit was unbroken. Mara looked out at her team, exhausted yet proud. "We have done the impossible," she whispered. "We have protected our world, and we have shown the galaxy who we are." For the first time, the galaxy understood a simple truth. Humans were not just survivors. They were warriors of unmatched courage, intelligence, and heart. The supreme warriors of Earth had not only defended their planet, they had forged humanity's legend, a story that would echo across the stars forever. And somewhere deep in the hearts of the warriors, they knew that this victory was more than a battle won. It was proof that humanity, united, fearless, and relentless, could face anything the galaxy threw at them. The battlefield had fallen silent. The Zitari Empire's fleets were gone, retreating in disgrace, leaving Earth's orbit filled with the wreckage of what had once been an unstoppable armada. Across the galaxy, civilizations held their breath, finally realizing the truth. Humans were not just a threat, they were legends. The Supreme Warriors had proven that courage, intelligence, and heart could stand against the mightiest forces. Captain Mara stood on a high plateau overlooking the recovering city below. Fires smoldered. Debris littered the streets, but the people of Earth were alive. Children ran through the rubble, laughter echoing over the smoke and ruins. Families hugged, tears flowing freely, while soldiers, some wounded, some exhausted, shared quiet smiles of relief. Mara's heart swelled with pride and sorrow. They had fought and suffered, but they had survived. And more than that, they had inspired the galaxy. Her team gathered around her. Lieutenant Kai, bruised but standing tall, looked at Mara with awe. "We did it," he said quietly, voice heavy with emotion. "We actually did it. We defended Earth, and the galaxy saw it." Mara nodded, her eyes reflecting both exhaustion and the fire of unyielding resolve. "Not just defended," she said. "We showed them what humans are. We showed them our courage, our unity, our heart. That is what makes us unbeatable." Across distant star systems, aliens shared stories of the battle. Planets that had once mocked Earth now trembled at the mention of human warriors. Scholars debated, generals studied, and children whispered tales of humans who could survive the impossible, who could fight through fire and storm, who could unite in ways no other species could. Humans had become a standard of strength and honor, a legend the galaxy could neither ignore nor forget. Yet, on Earth, the Supreme Warriors did not celebrate with arrogance. They rebuilt, trained, and tended to their wounded in the cities that had suffered. They understood that true power was not only in victory, but in the responsibility to protect, to care, and to honor life. Mara watched her team work, feeling a deep sense of respect for every soldier, every human who had contributed to their triumph. "Our story doesn't end here," she said softly. "It continues in every life we save, in every choice we make, in every act of courage from now on." The galaxy had learned a lesson it would never forget. Humans were clever, adaptable, and relentless, but above all, they were more than warriors. They were protectors, innovators, and beings of heart. Their victories were not born only of strength, but of compassion, unity, and determination. Every action, every battle, every choice revealed the depth of humanity's spirit. Mara turned to her warriors, her voice strong yet gentle. "We fought together and we won together. Let the stars remember our courage. Let the galaxy know our hearts. And let everyone, human or alien, understand that Earth will never bow, and humans will never surrender." The warriors raised their heads, their spirits soaring. Each one felt the weight of history and the pride of being part of something greater than themselves. As the sun set over the recovering cities, casting golden light over the scarred land, Mara looked to the stars. She thought of Earth's future, of children who would grow up knowing the sacrifices of the Supreme Warriors, and of a galaxy that now respected, feared, and admired humanity. The humans had not only defended their planet, they had awakened the galaxy to the truth of their power. And in that moment, as light touched the horizon and stars twinkled above, it was clear to all who looked. The galaxy had already feared humans, but now it had seen the full measure of Earth's supreme warriors. Humanity was no longer a distant legend whispered in fear. It was a shining, unstoppable force, forever etched into the history of the stars. The supreme warriors of Earth stood tall, wounded but unbroken, tired but unyielding. They had fought, they had triumphed, and they had shown the universe that when humans rise, even the impossible becomes possible. The galaxy had awakened to humanity, and there was no turning back.